Hey guys, Ryuu here from Blender Bros, and in this video we're gonna be designing a sci-fi engine. Let's go. Gonna start with a cube and let's scale it up, and it's gonna be like a standing engine slash generator. More likely a standing engine with like two sort of thrusters in the middle and some structure here as well. Let's apply scale here, Control A, apply scale, Control R, drop a loop here, and SX and scale it down a bit here. Now I'm using add-ons, I'm using hard-ups and box cutter and also machine tools. If you don't know how to use these add-ons, go ahead and watch my videos. I have playlists on hard-ups, box cutter, and two massive videos on machine tools. Also, if you're a complete beginner, I would suggest you start with a different course. We have a free course for beginners. It's called Jumpstart Hard Surface in Blender, and this is for absolute beginners, so I would start there. And if you're a bit more seasoned and you know how to use add-ons, but you're still a bit confused about life in general, then I would suggest you go for the sci-fi terminal design in Blender, which is also free. All the links are in the video description. Now I'm going to also be using Mesh Machine for selecting edges because it's easier. So click, alt, click, and we're going to create a chamfer here. And also click, alt, click here and create another chamfer here. That's pretty cool. Okay, so we got the basic shape going on. In fact, I'm thinking that maybe this could be a bit wider. So let's select that, and we're gonna click on refuse with Mesh Machine. I'm gonna press W to increase the width, and we can increase the number of segments to 10. And let's just mirror this to the other side. So the top part is gonna be a bit more beveled than the bottom one, which is pretty cool. Awesome. So now here in the middle section, we're going to grab this face here and press F to merge them, and I to insert it and extrude it in. Now, isn't that a bit too feeble? I think it's a bit too feeble. So we could actually insert it a bit deeper somewhere here. Now we're gonna get this really tight corner here, but we can fix it with unfuck from a Mesh Machine by relaxing this corner and then copy to the other side. Select that and press F and then extrude it in. And we can scale it just a bit like that. Okay, cool. So that's the basic shape on this side. And here we have something a bit different. So what we could do is select all these, press F, inset, and then insert one more time just a little bit. And we could run here an extrusion like this. Okay, cool. And we could create some openings here with box cut. So let's initiate box cutter D circle, and now we're gonna be using dots to snap it. You can turn on dots in here, and we're gonna be snapping it to the middle of the face with control. Now the number of these segments here in the circle is a bit too crazy. Let's go to like maybe, I don't know, 38 should be enough, and then GZ and also GY. Yeah, GY. Put up here and click, and we're probably gonna have to create another one on the bottom. So I will scroll and then Shift D, Z, and move it down here, and difference. Okay, so that's one. And here in the back we could have one massive exhaust, so we could just draw a cut here, press B, and simply press J, E, and then E again. We're gonna have something like this sticking out a little bit from the back, which is pretty cool. I'm gonna apply this, so sharpen and click, alt click, and chamfer this a little bit here. That's cool. And here too we need chamfer on this one, so click, alt click, and chamfer that, click, alt click, and chamfer this as well. You could turn off the loop slide here, because you see we got a bit of a problem. This edge is sliding here when I do that, right? So when you overshoot it, it's going to do that. So what you can do is go here and turn on the loop slide, which is going to help a bit with shading and save you a lot of headache. This one I think it's a bit too wide. So there you go, that will do. Good time to save it now, yeah? So in the middle we need a bit of interest. So what we're going to do is we're going to run a cut here like this, press K for knife and slice it. And we're going to, in fact, let's just remove this edge here, to be honest. And we're going to select that and press Ctrl plus. And then, in fact, let's select this one, press Ctrl plus. And we're going to extract it, so Shift Curve Extract, and do this. Now we're going to paneling on top of it, which is pretty cool. So we can have some fun with design here. So in the side here, we're going to create like a massive opening, but preferably with a cut, so like that. And let's just, this is not really in the middle, but you know what, here is fine. This circle probably should have a little bit more segments, so let's do it again. Hold Shift and scroll up to maybe like 50. You can see them in the top here, and just cut through. That's cool. We're gonna recover this cutter, and we're going to Shift D that, scale it just a little bit, press X, scale it a bit, press Shift X to scale it on other axes, and cut the one in the middle, right? Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna recover this cutter, and we're going to go to Settings and Shift click on Sheet Solid. This will copy the cutter and convert it into solid mesh, and also enable you to see that in render view. So let's grab that and Control B that quite deeply. Alt X with Mesh Machine. If you don't have Mesh Machine, get it because it's good, okay? But you could also do that with hard ops. Now this cutter here, I have a scroll that, and we're gonna grab this face, Alt N and flip it, and then Control B. This will allow you to create a reverse bevel here in the middle like this, okay? And we're gonna have to fix the shading because the shading is a bit messed up. So Shift click on Sharpen and then Alt X. Did it work? I think this is still not applied. So let's just mirror this to the other side. There we go. With hard ups, okay? Cool. So we got that going on. Okay, so here what we need to do, we need to create some kind of a base for it, alright? So we're gonna grab a cube and drop it in here and get a bit wider and create maybe something like this here. So there's a base. This base technically could be a bit taller, and we could grab this cutter here, Shift D and make it larger and cut it. So we're gonna have this kind of a circle element here, sort of emphasized around this shape. We can grab this one, Shift D, make it larger like this, and we can actually create an opening here. So insert that and right click and bridge. If you have loop tools enabled in Blender, it's a Blender add-on, but loop tools sometimes does weird things like connects them diagonally. So what we're gonna do is we're going to remove these faces and connect them with machine tools. Select both edges and press 2. It's a smart edge function, so enable it if you don't have it. And this is a pretty cool sort of like a encasing and, you know, sort of a framing for these structures. On top here we could also have something, so we could create something like this, drop it down a bit, maybe somewhere here, and scale it down a bit, and maybe create this kind of a situation here. So GZ and move it up and apply scale, and we can, you know, bevel these quite deeply and maybe drop this a little bit lower, so somewhere here like that. Okay, this bevel could be actually a little bit less, the tension could be a bit different here, so we could go to Reviews and press T and change the tension of it. Okay, so all width, and Alt X. It's gonna follow the shape a little bit better. Okay, cool, awesome. So we got this kind of a enforcing edge over there. This one could be beveled as well to, you know, keep with the theme and kind of like that. That's cool, sort of a bit more flowy. Now the bottom here is a bit boring, so what we could do is bevel these two, right, to sort of follow the theme here from the top and the sides. So we got a little bit of a nice flow on, you know, whichever side you're looking at it from. Here we got some turbines in the front. In fact, I'm thinking maybe we could have 3, but 2 maybe is better. Press F here and, you know, press F here as well. And then we're going to inset them a bit and then Q, Shift Curve Extract and sharpen and select these 2 and we're going to chamfer them. So we're going to leave that for now. We're going to inset them really deep and create these openings here and select these 2 and chamfer them as well, just a little bit. Awesome. Here you could have some panel on the bottom for some maintenance, whatnot. Here we could have a bit of a different design. We could have, for example, 2 exhausts like this. Press V. Whoa, one more time. B and then V, X, and array this down, and then simply extrude it. Cool. So we got this kind of a situation going on, or we could actually create something different here. You know, opening inside like that, and bring it to life. So shift click, and then we can create cuts here. Press V, X, and you know, create this kind of like a exhaust in the back here with a lot of cuts, but that's too many. Something like this, and shift click, right? So you got this kind of a situation. We could even rotate them, you know, if you wanted to. So let's bring it to local and ever scroll that. Go to the first one and just rotate it, okay? And then apply the rotation. So go here and Q and just scale this array up a bit. It's a bit too big, so something like that. And this is gonna be pretty awesome, right? Well, this could be a little bit different. Could move this up a bit, so I will scroll again. G, move it up here and add a few more arrays. And you know, you're good to go. Cool. Sides here could be a bit different. We could have a larger opening. So maybe something like this. Okay, and then GX and move it in until it breaks. And you could have, you know, opening here, a very small one, like that. So E and extrude it now. And alt text to the other side. Awesome. So now here we need some, you know, small chamfer. Also, we could use some parts here around. So let's grab this geometry, shift curve extract it, and we're gonna cut it from the top with box cutter. So maybe like that. Let's apply that, and you know, we're gonna scale it out away from the cursor. And let's just create some interesting shape here. Oh, okay then. These 2 and bevel them. And you know, bevel this one. Right? And then let's also bevel this, right? And then we can array this. So mesh tools, control click radial, X, and scroll down. There's too many of them. Let's make 3 of them. Actually, it's kind of cool. Create this kind of a design here, and boom. And then let's go to edit mode. Let's go here and select this face and extrude it inwards. So we're gonna have this kind of situation. It's indeed interesting, right? Cool. So this is salted. Here we could have loop, Control B, And let's just alter macro. It's gonna break this surface a little bit here. Cool. Here on top, on these engines, we got scale it in, extrude it, scale it on individual origins. So change it in here to individual origins. And then, you know, just chamfer them like that. Cool. Awesome. And here too, we could have some tiny paneling. So alter macro. Right, and let's just set the bevel and sharpen. Now double check this bevel is okay. I think the bevel is faceted, so press 1 to round it up. Make it small, doesn't have to be huge. Right, and same here, bevel and weighted normals and bevel and weighted normals, bevel and weighted normals, you know, bevel everywhere, right? It's important. And bevel here too. And of course on the engines, right? So bevel and weighted normals. Cool. And this is a pretty cool, you know, pretty cool engine. Now here, click, alt, click, and chamfer. It's gonna be a really nice light breakage over there. Same here. Click, alt, click, and let me see that. We could connect it together by grabbing these edges and creating a small bevel here. Click, alt, click, select loop, and Control B, and grab a chamfer here. Nice. Could have chamfer here as well. These chamfers, guys, are gonna go a long way, yeah. Really long way. Okay, awesome. So how are we looking? We're looking pretty good. Let's move that to cutters. Let's create a floor. Whoa, that's big. Okay, and then apply scale. And always apply scale before you apply solidification, otherwise you're gonna have a problem, right? So we got some floor here, which is cool. And we could have some kind of a, you know, stand here for whoever going to operate this thing. So something like this. Make it thinner and make it cut in here into this stand like that. And we can mirror this to the other side and apply that. Grab these corners, I mean this edge here, and Control B that. Oh, actually bevel this like that. Wow, that didn't work. So let's apply mirror here. Yeah, we need to apply the mirror. So smart apply and then mirror. Seriously? One more time. Smart apply. Do we have any mirrors? No. Ah, the origin point is in here, right? Let's mirror across these. Okay. So let's mirror that, and let's just select this edge here, Control B, boom, right? And we're gonna have some kind of like a, you know, barrier or whatnot. We could bring a human in here just for scale, probably would be helpful. We could have some kind of a terminal here, so cut it in and apply this, and then grab that and, you know, shift curve extract and scale it a bit, but on individual origins. So shift S into geometry, scale it just a little bit, RX, and do that. And you know, we're gonna create kind of like a keyboard situation in here. Let's just grab this, and this is solidified, right? Yeah, let's apply this. So sharpen, and let's just create the edge in the middle with mesh machine and split that edge like that. Grab this bit here, and we're going to extrude it, okay? And right click and click like this, and click like this. So now here we can create, you know, bevels, right? Okay, so select all these and bevel that, and this should be mirrored to the other side. Okay, and then weight the normals, right? So we got this kind of you know, terminal here, whatnot, maybe a little bit lower, and here it's going to be a screen. So shift curve extract again, shift S to geometry, and you know, you have a screen here, right? So you got this kind of like a terminal, and this one could be made a bit more interesting by creating some cuts. Maybe not, maybe a bit more interesting like that, or this sort of a cut. Right, let's grab another plane and go here, vert mode, shift 1 with machine tools to create a vert. Bring it, bring this vert somewhere here. Edit mode and EX, EY. Okay, and then we're gonna start dropping this down here, and actually lower than that. This is the size of a human, so this barrier needs to be kind of a human size, right? So E and EZ, and then we're gonna shift Control B that, right? And we're going to go with mesh tools and curve extract S1 and mirror this to the other side. Cool. Gonna bring them closer. Okay, and rotate them. Cool. That's pretty dope. This is too thick. There's no way this will be so thick. So a bit, you know, thinner, and we're good to go. Click that Control 1 or Control 2 to add a bit more subd to it, and we don't need this, right? It's a bit too feeble, I think. Yeah, just a bit more, you know, of oomph here. There we go. Here too, you could have a bit of a, you know, cutout, and select everything, Alt N, and flip outside. Okay, and I think we're done here. We could have some another loop here in the back, maybe here, and Alt and macro to create this breakage, and the rest can be done with the trim sheets. So we don't have to worry about that. Click Alt, click here, Control B, create a chamfer, lovely, and one more chamfer here in the middle, and we're gonna run. Good. So there we go, and that's, you know, that's the model done. Now what we can do, we can add some decals, right? So let's go to cycles, and let's texture this, right? So we're gonna texture the main hub. So Alt M. Actually, let's go with Keytop Smuts, Cycles and Keytop Smuts by Chip Walters. Grab them, they're fantastic. All the links are in the description as usual. So here, let's go to Other and go to Grime, Edmod, Peachy, and we need some dirt on it. So let's go back here and let's go to Hero Mod. So this one, and Advanced Hero Dirty, and we're gonna add insert, and we're gonna remove that. Go here, go to shading and shade editor, and Shift A, go to group and find the hero mod and pop it in here. Nope, here. There we go. And then we're gonna grab another one. So go to, I call it Dirty Old, but it's Dirty Legacy. You're gonna see that in the pack if you download it. Click, right click to cancel, click that, Shift A, group, and dirty up and put it in here. And we got this dirt buildup from the bottom, which is pretty cool. You could also add dirt buildup from the top as well. Now these scratches are a bit mental, so we're going to change the color of them to black. So make them darker, right? That's better. And they're way too freaking intense. So, like, you know, just tiny scratches. There you go. And this dirt buildup is actually interesting. What we could do is change it to a bit more red. And, you know, increase the coverage and create kind of like a rust, which is pretty badass, right? So now we got this rusty machine here, and this one could be other type of grime. So asset loader and other and grime, and we can grab this one, add material. Okay, and we're gonna copy these nodes, right? So select these two, Control C, click there, Control V, and plug in this one here, and Control C, Control V, and plug this one here. Boom, we're done. Awesome. And then we need these. These could be actually, this one could be of this color. So, and this one could be the same. These ones could be some kind of a steel. This one could be grime as well. It's a base, so that's cool. This one could be yellow actually. Or maybe some dirty steel, whatever. That's okay. These could be yellow. It's gonna look interesting, and this could be kind of a steel, whatever. So let's go to dirty steel. So metal and steel dirty, and add matte. And again, we're gonna plug that. And in fact, this is a bit too freaking shiny. Roughness amount, let's increase that. Still too shiny. Yeah, that's okay. So these could be the same. Whoa. So select these, this, and copy. And this one could be the same, right? So I think it's gonna look better. Yeah, awesome. And you know, this one could be this yellow grime too. Why not? And the floor could be, I don't know, maybe another grime. So the blue one. We apply scale to this plane, so let's just do this again without applying scale, yeah? So drop it down, and then you will see the solidification going on nuts. There we go. But the mattes gonna tile a bit better, so apply matte. There we go. And we could put some dirt on it, so you know, to make it dirty, right? This terminal here, well, this should be, you know, some kind of glass. And this keyboard here could be actually this dirty matte here too, you know. That's actually pretty cool. So you got this really awesome, you know, kind of a machinery in here. And the rest, you know, could be done with stream sheets, guys. Okay, that's how easy it is. So let me show you. So let's grab that, and let's just, you know, go with stream sheets. So D, turn off box cutter, and we're gonna go with Blender Raw stream sheets. I'm gonna go with the QM, which are basically textured. You can get them as a pack from our website. Let's just see how it goes, you know, something like that. This one is interesting. It's a bit too yellow though. Let's go with something a bit less colorful, something a bit more grimy, like that, for example. That's pretty cool. And then we have this outer part here. So let's run an edge here, and let's just run something. So here we're going to click on this one, bring it in. Let's scroll it. This one is cool. Here as well, we could have something running around. So let's go to maybe this one and alt click here. This one is perfect. And here too, we could have some trims. So let's go to 3 and alt click that. And same here, you know. Let's go to 8 and click on this. And you got this, and to be honest, I can't be bothered to copy that, so I'm just going to Shift DZ and move it down, or we could also array this. Just make sure it's in the middle, yeah. There we go. I could even rotate it, so it's, you know, Shift S and 2Geo and rotate it on Y-axis, so it's not the same as the top one. And here in the back, I could also have some trims. You know, like for example here, we could have maybe this one. Boom, right? And one more time. Okay, that's great. Here too, we could have some trims. Split that in two. We can run some trims here on the sides. So let's go with this one maybe, and alt click on that. And let's see what we're gonna get here. This is cool. Alt X to the other side. And you're done. And on top of that, we could run decals, you know. And decals, you know, they could be ran with glass mat. So they're actually gonna be transparent. So the easiest way to do that is to literally apply a glass mat to your scene. So we need to do a bit of a trick. Okay, so let me show you. Let's just go here and add the matte, right? The regular matte, and we're gonna change it to glass. Okay, so let's go here, and let's go here, and we're going to change this matte to transparent, and change the roughness to almost nothing, and reduce the specularity of it just a little bit. Okay, and then when you apply a decal, okay, you can get these decals and trim sheets again from our pack. They're fantastic. Alt project and then D, and what's the name of this matte? It's 0.02. Okay, let's just rename it to glass. Okay, so if I can spell it, there we go. D and match. Now this is a normal decal, so I mean, so the subset is just a one matte. So you need to press D and hold Shift to actually enable. There you go, that's a glass matte. Boom, you see that it's actually goes through, and you can see the matte underneath. So this is how you can kind of cheat, you know, kind of cheat with decals. So go to edit mode, Shift DY and move it in here. And this works really well with more complicated decals. So when you have a decal that's actually, it's a subset decal, so you have two layers. Okay, so let me show you. So if I go to vents, and let's say we're gonna grab these vents here, and I'm gonna make them larger. Maybe these vents are not a good idea. Hang on, let me just grab something different. This one doesn't fit very well. How about this one? Not really. Hang on. Let me find something interesting. This could work. Another round decal here in the bottom, like that. And when I'm gonna apply this, right? And then I'm going to go to D, match, and hold Shift. Now I can really match it very well with the environment, you see, by using this glass trick. Okay, so that's how you do it. Now with name decals, it's a bit more tricky. You could use keytops for that. So I just use something different. This one is a bit too weak. Something with robotics, something more, you know. Oh, where's my, this is the one, yeah, Kefra Robotics, or KEF, or COP is gonna be cool. COP Industries, boom, put it in here, and then we can drop an alpha on it. So project this, right, and then what we're gonna do is we're going to change color of it. So We're going to increase that, go here and change the saturation, drop it to black, which is cool. And now you can drop the alpha on it a little bit. Okay, so it's gonna look like it's you know, kind of a bit worn off. Cool. And then we can have, you know, all kinds of different stuff in here. Like for instance, we can have these Japanese decals. They're fantastic. We can drop alpha on them as well. And you know, this should be smaller because it should be human size. So there should be somewhere here, and you know, project this, and then we can drop off on that to make it less saturated. You know what I mean? So it kind of fits the environment. And we can have one more here. So I don't know. Don't touch. Don't touch. This could be smaller somewhere here. Project, and then we can just copy that alpha value here. So they're the same level, okay? Cool. Here we could have some kind of a screen, so could go to a display and, you know, I don't know, grab that for example, and you know, put the display here and project it, and then we could have some kind of a keyboard here also, you know, sort of holographic or whatever, right? So just and project it, and you're good to go. You got this going on. We could have some lights here just to, you know, make it a bit more interesting. So let me see, maybe some vent in the back here could be good. Somewhere here on the top. This could be actually interesting, maybe a bit smaller, so it's not overpowering. And then, you know, project, and of course we need to use the good old faithful glass trick, right? So see, boom, then see, like this glass kind of inherits the matte of this original decal. Let's remove that because it doesn't fit. Let's convert it to mesh. So convert to mesh, and you could have a trim sheet running around here like this. Just go here, trim sheet Q, and alt click, and you're gonna get some kind of a breakage of surface here going on. Yeah, and then we could have some lights here in the bottom maybe. So let's go to some decals with lights. Oh, maybe something like this, yeah. Somewhere here, you know, and then maybe make it smaller, and then the project, and then of course the match, and again match it with the environment perfectly. You can lower the light intensity by going here, D, adjust E, and move your mouse. You can, you know, change the intensity. I think the white maybe isn't the best idea. I think it should be something a bit more saturated. So we could go to one of my favorite lights, which is this one. Yeah, not this one. Come on. This one. That's a really cool one. This one with a bounce light baked in, which is really awesome. Could pop one in here, projected. Now these lights are extremely strong, so you do need to lower it down a bit. Also match it with the glass thing. So let's press Shift and D and sort of, you know, match it. So it's gonna match really nicely. D, adjust E, and we can drop it just a little bit. So it's, you know, it's indicating something, but it's not eye poking. Okay, it's gonna offset this keyboard a bit, and we could have something here on the top as well, or something like that. Even maybe this would work. Move it in here and project it, and then D, match, Shift, one time, D, match, D and Shift. We need to match the outside of it. That doesn't want to match. There we go. Match the top and the outside as well. Right? One more time. D, match. The outside could be actually dark. Be interesting, right? Something like this over there on the top that's gonna break the visuals, you know. Then we could slap one of these on the side here somewhere. Barrier here. So let me just scale that a little bit. Right here. D. Adjust and hold shift and control, and then we're gonna project it. Perfect. And then we need to drop the alpha because reasons. So let's just drop the alpha really low, yeah. So it kind of blends with the environment, you see. And then we can select the decal and copy to the other side. On this side, maybe some bolts or some shit, I don't know. Maybe something like this. And move it in here. And project it. And then array this down. And then we're going to match it. So D, match, and scroll. Make it black. Then outside needs to be dark. Okay, then the yellow. So match D, and we need to match it with the with this yellow color. And there you go. Gonna bring you down here. What it is, it doesn't matter. It's all about the design, guys. Here. So here in the middle, we could definitely use some trim sheets, right? So select one of these and maybe do something like that. Maybe that's too much. And then D, and let's see, QM. We could create some kind of an interesting pattern here. Maybe something like this. We'd have some light around it, like just a strip of light around it. So, you know, select one of these, grab a loop here, Control B, make a tiny strip, and then just assign, create a new matte and change it to emission and make it blue and make it stronger and assign it. And you got emissive matte here. It's quite strong, which is cool. And we could actually change it to red, although I think blue is fine. Red's gonna be a bit more, or maybe orangish. Actually, that's pretty awesome. I like that. So there you go. Here too, we could have some indicating lights, maybe on top of this screen. So we could actually have a light here like that, you know, kind of like this. So maybe somewhere here and project it, and then we need to match it. So boom, just glass matte, and you're done. Then you're good to go. This light is a bit strong, so we can dim it down a bit. So D, adjust E, and you know, drop it down a bit. So it's not so crazy, right? In fact, it could be a little bit smaller. So S, Z, and scale it down. And you're gonna have a smaller light like that, which is cool. So it's not overpowering this light in here, because you got quite a pull in here, right? The engine's here outside, you know, like this part here. So it's kind of visible. So let's Control R. Like this here. This could also be this emissive matte. So this one is gonna create some kind of cool glow. Remove that, Shift DC, move it down here. And again, just rotate it on Y just a little bit. Shift S to geometry, RY. Rotate it a bit, and you got this really awesome kind of a badass engine going on. Cool, so let's render this. Let's rotate this floor and make it a bit bigger, and easy, create a wall GXX and move it outside. Create a bit of a, you know, infinite background situation, sharpen. Let's make it even bigger, and then grab a camera to view. Change the ratio here to 2560 by 1440. And let's change it to 85 mils, so it's going to be a bit more of a compression. Let's lock it to view and click that, and you know, create some kind of interesting scene here, right? Maybe like this. Okay. We could compress this even more, you know, 135. Compression is going to allow us to fill the scene a bit better with this object, okay? So create something like this here. Now we're gonna rotate this background so it's not reflective or less reflective, or just gonna add some sharpness to it. Not too tight. A bit from the bottom, which is kind of cool. So we're shooting from the ground level, which is awesome. You need to give it a bit more of a ground. There is a clash here between the keyboard and this rail. I mean, nothing is perfect. We could just lower it a little bit down to create a bit more of a compression here. The back can be darkened, that's not a problem. Unlock from view, I think this is cool. We could bring some human in. There's a fantastic pack by Jama Jurabiev, and you can get it from Gumroad. Links in the video description. It's an amazing pack. It's a bit expensive, but fuck me, this guy is good. He's, I think he's a art director in Lucasfilm, so you know you can't go wrong with that guy. So grab his pack because they're phenomenal. Pilots, rig, poses, blend, boom. That's what I want. And I think there's one doing something like this here. What is this? That's not gonna work. Can I really use that? Let's see. Control C, copy. I can't be bothered going to mix someone, you know, fixing in your characters. So I'm just going to use this guy. Probably can do that now. Scale is a bit off. We need to make it smaller. So let's move him in here, and the scale is off, yeah, so it needs to be smaller. This is a massive machine. Actually, let me see that. Keyboard needs to be in a comfortable position. That keyboard is freaking massive, but that's okay because actually, yeah, this keyboard is too big, I think. I just scale it down. There we go. And this, I think, should be bigger, so there we go, that's better. So we got this guy here. These pipes, I think, are a bit too big, so we could just you know, scale them down a bit, which is gonna be difficult to do, but we could try. Okay, there we go. Something like this, I suppose. And here we can drop some, you know, some decals like crates or whatnot. I have tons of them. I think they're on my personal blend market. I think they called panels or whatnot. 80 sci-fi panels, whatever. Grab them, they're really cool. So you could just grab something like this here. You know, rotate it, adjust it, make it bigger, right? And then move it closer here and then project it. I'm not gonna be fixing all these because I can't be bothered, but you get the gist of what I'm doing. Match, and I'm just gonna match it to the floor like that, right? So it stands on something over there. And then you could run some other, you know, crates around it. I mean, we don't even have to match it to the there we go, that will do as well. This is kind of cool. Something on the side here could put as well, but you know, I'm gonna be doing that. This is pretty huge. Now the decal need to be remirrored because it was moved. So let me just undo that mirror and mirror this again. Okay, so oh, you son of a bitch. Okay, interesting. So let's mirror this across this one then. No, okay, fine. You know what? I'm just gonna leave it like that. I can't be bothered. So this will do, okay. And yeah, pretty big engine, right? So the light comes from this side here, a bit angled, yeah. So kind of suggest outside. We could also grab a plane and run a reflector here on this side, okay. So it's gonna reflect back the lighting from, you know, from the right side just a little bit. Okay, so let's do that. This would look much more interesting with volumetrics, but I honestly just can't be bothered setting them up. You know what, fuck it, let's do it. Cube and volumetrics. We need to encompass everything, including the camera, right? So let's just encompass it. Whoa, okay, that's too big. The camera, go down, and then we're going to add a matte to it. So change the object, add the matte to it, and then volumetrics. So principled volume, remove this principled here and principled volume, and this is too dense, of course, so we're going to go with density 0.03. I think it's even too dense, 0.05, something like that. And then let's go to camera and see how we're looking. Good lord, that's still too dense, so let's just grab this cube here and name it cube. So press period on the number here so you can find it, volume, and we're gonna have to lower it down because Jesus. So 0.1, make it bluish. Now let's try now camera. We could actually add some light to it. Okay, so let's fiddle with it. Since we're doing it, let's do it properly. Okay, fuck it. So what you should do here is lower the strength of this HDRI, and instead of that, let's just pop here lights. Now, if you really want to do a good job, you probably should be using something like IES lamps. I'm not gonna be covering this in this video because, you know, this would be just too long, but this is something you should probably be doing. Let's make it a bit greenish because it's an industrial environment, and then we're just gonna Alt D that light on Y-axis and press Shift R to copy this. Okay, and we got this really cool industrial light going down. Now we can make it stronger, right, a bit, so the light pops down. Maybe let's say 3000. Whoa, okay then, 300. There we go. Let's see how this will render. Looks pretty decent, actually. The floor is a bit, you know, a bit bright, but this could be adjusted in post-processing. Also, these lights could be a bit more narrow. Let me see that. We'll change the mood. Or maybe fewer of them, you know, like let's say not so many of them. So every second light here. It's gonna create an interesting situation as well. Let's see that. So always play with lights. Yeah, this one is a bit bright here on the top. We could kind of try to move them. So let's grab these lights, location, right? So new collection, lights, okay, and then go to camera. Let's just drop it down so you can see everything. Let's go here, find lights, good, select all of them, and then we can move them, you know. So you see you can highlight different areas on this model. See what I mean? That's pretty cool. So this one could be a little bit closer to highlight the human and the front of the machine. The one in the back here, which is this one, could be a bit further away. Yeah, the spread is like 180. Well, it could be a bit more narrow, but to be honest, this could be interesting, kind of like a beamy light. But maybe a bit wider spread is good. Now I'm thinking that you could actually use more of them. Alt D Y and move one in here. Alt D Y and move one in here. Let me see that. That could be too many. Okay, let's just select all of them and make them wider. How this will do. That's an interesting idea. Let's increase the spread a bit. And move this one a bit closer here so it shines on the back. That's actually pretty cool, but I think they're too low on power, because now we need probably like 400 or something. That could do. So let's try to render this. Right now we're gonna need a lot of bounce because it's volumetrics. So we need to go to light path and we need to turn volume 12. The rest is really maxed out, but you know, you don't have to follow my numbers. I'm going crazy because with 390 I really don't give a shit. But here under sampling, go with 300, turn on the noise, and you should be fine. This guy is rotated incorrectly. I can see it now, so we forgot to actually make him face the goddamn computer. That's better. Okay, let's try that. Now, the leg here aligns with these barriers, not ideal. We could maybe do something like this, would be better. I think so. Although we could kind of move it in here, you know, like really deep. How this would look? Yeah, this just aligns with its ass and this monitor. This just doesn't really work for me. This would be better, I think. But isn't it too low? Another one, you could do something like this. This is also an option, okay? Or even rotate this outside like that. And then mirror again across. That's not bad. We could lower it down so it doesn't line with the monitor. It's gonna just show a bit more form here. And again, yeah, this is cool. I like that. See, you can see the breakage here and the guy is shown in full. I like it. This is pretty cool. Your guy's getting a full-on course on the rendering. I didn't plan to do that, but you know, there you go. When you do something, do it fucking properly. We need glare in these elements here, so let's stop that. Let's go to compositing and turn it on, and let's turn it off. And instead of denoiser, we're gonna add glare. Okay. And do this. Set it to high. And we don't need denoising data. So now let's try this again. Go to layout and render again. And this should render the glow of these engines a bit better. When you're doing the denoiser, the compositor, remember to turn this thing here on top to enable nodes in your compositor, otherwise it's not gonna work. These motherfuckers are gonna be strong as hell, I can tell you already right now. They're gonna be too strong, we need to dim it down. Maybe change color to green, maybe blue is not the best idea, so let's leave that. Let's go to these decals and let's see, we can change color here to, in fact, you know, fuck it, we can do it in here. So change color to something different, you know, like pale green, and, you know, make it darker. So it's not so eye-poking. The keyboard, if I can click it, come on. There we go. We could technically steal the color here, so come on, let's see that. It could kind of be white bluish, something like that, you know, and the emission is gonna get, this emission is gonna get blown out anyway, so let's copy this color, hex here, go to this keyboard, come on, and copy that and make it darker as well, right? And try this again. The key to creating a good render is to balance all the anchors, visual anchors in your image, like for example the lights here, this element, the keyboard. It cannot be overpowering, okay, otherwise it's just gonna look weird. See, that's really bright on top, but it also is quite bright. We can actually increase the brightness of this area here. The floor is brighter. I might actually leave that. It's an interesting light spill here. And I have to worry about the background. The background, technically what we could do is just render pure volumetrics and add a plane in the back, but could create some cables in the background, you know, but this will do. It takes a bit longer because of the light path, so if you have a weaker machine, you might want to go easy on that. Now I wonder if the denoiser is going to clean all of volumetrics. Technically shouldn't, but you never know. Boom, see, like, popped in. Now we don't need stars here, so we need to change that from streaks to fog glow. I forgot to do that. And also this volumetrics could be a little bit stronger, so volumetrics, and go here and let's grab the shader editor and let's make it 0.03. Yeah, why the hell not? Let's try that. Oh, that's much better. Now we get a bit more substance to this image, you see what I mean? You could technically even, you know, go easy on the denoising, although we can add some textures later on. The scale looks really cool. This looks like a massive machine. Okay, let's see what we got here. That's pretty good, I think. Now we're gonna save it definitely as a TIFF, okay? 16-bit TIFF, and let's save this. Now here, we're gonna grab this, background, and we're gonna disable it and render this without volumetrics, because all I want now is just the shape of this structure. We also do not need glare. Glare can create kind of like outlines of glowing light around your object, which will mess up the selection, so you don't want to do that. So let's just grab this very quickly. It should be much quicker because we don't have volumetrics and we don't have any bloom, no post-processing, no nothing, so this should be really quick. Let's save that as a cutout. Now quality here doesn't matter anymore, you can go with 8, although you know what, you never know, we may use it for something. So let's just collapse that and let's open Photoshop and let's, you know, get this shit done properly. Now the way you want to drop this, you want to drop them both together, so, you know, like that. Come on. And if you want to align one TIFF on top of another, or an image, you hold shift when you drop in that, like this. You see we have different color because there's no volumetrics, right? But we're using it only for selections like that, okay? So we can just, you know, select stuff and have fun. So first of all, what we're gonna do is we're gonna add some light to it. So let's just go here and we're gonna add some exposure, some clarity, and open the shadows and click OK. And I want to remove this effect from the from this main layer. So Control J, select this one, and you know, then press. Then we're gonna press Control Alt F to run the filter. Select this with Control and click on the mask. Right. So now we have this object here a bit brighter than the background. Then we can work with this. So now this maybe it's a bit too bright. Let's not overdo it. This is good. So let's Shift Control Alt and E, and we're gonna go to filters. I'm using Unique Collection filters. If you don't have them, grab them because they're really good. Just can't be fucked, you know, messing around with vanilla Photoshop because it's just a waste of time. Why would I do that? I've been studying Photoshop for like 12 years. I don't need to, you know, do shit in vanilla because I know how it works. So let's just pump the Pro Contrast here, a bit of dynamic contrast, which is really awesome. And maybe that's too much. And then click OK. So now I got this brighter environment here, but what I want to do is I want to darken the bottom. So what I need to do is run a mask here and then select this element, Control Shift I, and run a black mask, black gradient tool here on the bottom to darken it down. Okay, so it's gonna darken down everything around it, right? So just the middle bit's gonna be brighter, which is what I want. And in addition to that, we're gonna add some smoke. So let's go to brushes. These brushes are from envato.com. It's a fantastic website. You can get a lot of brushes. I'm using them all the time. They're fucking amazing. And we're gonna be using mist brushes. The pack is called 100 mist brushes for Photoshop on envato.com. And I think, yeah, we can grab one of these and just kind of run it in the background. So I'm gonna select a whitish color, kind of like yellowish maybe. Oh, actually, you know, yellowish fox gonna be good. Let's create a layer here and boom. And we need to increase the, you know, opacity. That's a bit too dark. Let's make it brighter. So kind of like a dirty smoke and create a fog here like this. Kind of like a smoke on the floor. That's pretty good. And then we're gonna create a new layer and go to brushes, and we're gonna grab the other set, which is here, and create kind of like a smoke thing. So let me just move it to another screen, and gonna just have some fun. Oh, that's too intense. Yeah, something like this, you know. So, you know what I mean? There you go. And this could be slightly darker, so you know, we could just drop the opacity on them, so it's not so intense, right? And then we're gonna run a filter on that. So let's go here and Core FX Pro, and I'm gonna run a processing filter, so cross processing, and make it a bit bluish. I think that's pretty cool. Maybe it's a bit too intense. Something like that. Cool. And then on top of this, I'm going to be running vignette because we need to close this image in. It's too bright on sides. So we can go to camera. We can also go to Nick collection as well. Go to effects here and darken it down. So you see the image is going to get closed in. You're going to have like a darker smoke, which is pretty cool. Right? And feather it out. Let's see that. And lastly, we can run some curves on it. See how this is gonna go. Create a bit more contrast here, so it looks a bit more like a light. It's a bit more aggressive. It's a bit too aggressive. Maybe we can lift the change this to luminosity, and let's see. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I think the midtones should be a bit more pronounced, so maybe I'm gonna move it here and move this one closer like that. Let me see that now. Yeah, it's a bit intense. Could be a bit brighter. Something like this is cool. And we're gonna run some vibrance, okay? So we're gonna drop the saturation to -2 and run the vibrance to make it really vibrant and cool. And you know, there you go. There's our image. Looks pretty cool. Get space for logo or whatever the hell you want. That's good enough. Alright guys, well, you know, that's it for this one. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.